Hello there again. Apologies for that. I do believe there was a little bit of a stream error, sadly. So unfortunately at that. But one thing is, we aren't too long. We are going into qualifying, so I just will go through it very quickly. I'm your commentator Brenda. Unfortunately, my co-commentator Liam will not be joining me today. So now we're here for Interlagos. You have 14 turns, or 15. It could be one way or the other here, to be honest. It is 15, as you do have the kink for just before the line. A very traditional track where we have seen a lot of championships decided, but much like it was when Interlagos was initially on the calendar, we are putting it early on the season. So here we are, and now we're going to qualifying. So before that, I suppose we will give you a little word from our sponsors. So if you give me a second, I will make sure that just is our sponsors, who are very good to us and do help out the league a lot. So make sure to check out Next Level Racing, sponsoring providing prizes. Pure Sim Gears, sponsoring providing a pair of sim racing gloves to drive most combined poles as fast as laps. Last week we had Infamous taking pole, so that will help him towards that. Game ago, sponsoring providing Game Ago examples to the trophy winners, so further incentive to try win. Now so check out the partners as well. Vespertine, you sport championship prizes. ERT, part of ERT, go and get stuff award and league trophies. And then SimGrid, which is what our One Hub is run through, so which is a very useful tool for us, for everyone here at One Hub Racing. We have people out on the track. Jason, who had a very good pre-season, but he hasn't quite had the start to his season that he would have. He had a very tough race in Austria, but he did manage to make something of it. Oh, that's alright. Someone that was Gia. Oh, it's not great. That is unfortunate for Kia, but yeah. But we well, I suppose in that case, not. It's just going to any of these tires are cold, so you're best to just take it a little easy. Denrod has also crashed. And it was reset, so that could have been a crash in the pit lane. So now we're going to go on board with Jason for a lap here of Interlagos. So in the Red Bull, which can show a lot of pace. Both Red Bulls have shown pace at different times, but never really at the same time in a way. So Jason through the first corners, not doing too badly for himself here. Looks pretty stable. So not unstable, he is quick. So now 16.9 for the first sector, obviously purple because that is the first sector to be set. Now through it's just a tight and twisty section of the track. Now seeing Red Bulls, you've got a bit of bad memory here. Well, if you're Alex Albon anyways, but no need to worry about Mercedes trying to look for a gap in the inside. There wasn't quite there. You see now as you just go out to exit the last of the proper corners. Now just keep to the left out to the kinks at 14 and 15. Now you're nearly going into the exit, but you just don't quite do that, and it's a 108.7, so not a bad time to set the banker for and time for everyone else to be chasing. There's no penalties or anything to worry about here, so everyone who can sell that apart from Denrod and Kia will, yeah, barring their own crash, is Aston Martin getting out of the way. So now keep an eye on Decisive, because he is our next driver to cross the line. So let's say indecisive. What time did he set? 1:10.2. Probably not the most representative. There may well have been a mistake in there we didn't see. So now, next up for us is it's me, Chris, 129.0, which I have to believe is, oh well, it's invalid here as well, so not the best start. Now to watch the Ferrari as it goes up to the line. It's got a slipstream from the Red Bull. Let's see now what it can do. It is good enough for P2, so the Ferrari, who has been up there this season very much, was up there for the win last week until a certain collision put an excursion off track put into that. So now Mason, our current championship leader after 2 rounds, after managing to pick up the scraps from the incident last week, is alright with a P3 at the moment. Is indecisive. Oh, just probably didn't have the rear grip out of that. Is it the long left hand that we need to just sure you keep that car in the sweet spot. You're gonna see Infamous going for it here. See, last week's pole sitter, he crashed out on the safety car, and obviously that was just after he had built a very sizable lead, so he will be out to get himself the result he thinks is a Mega Gamer, who won in the opening race in Miami, is now P1, 108.3. So it has been a team this season in the P14 for someone to set a very good lap time early on and very much be up to the others then to chase. So now you see Infamous, where would he end up? He is now going to come across the line, and according to the well, it would be competitive. It is competitive. It is ahead of his teammate and P2. So the rule, first thing you want to do in racing is beat your teammate, and well, Infamous has done that job. And by doing so, is beat everyone else bar Mega Gamer. So now let's see only people who have. So maybe Chris hasn't represented the lap time. Neither is Rage Man, who was the other car involved last week in that instance with Ferrari of you having a giggle, mate. So now we see Jess coming out of the pit. She is, after a consecutive top 5 finishes, she's now second in the championship. So it is going to be set up for a very good race here, to be honest with all the drivers involved, and how mixed up the grid got last week after the safety car, particularly at the end when everyone, well, some people went for the soft tyres and others stayed out. So Jamie, he is around the final corner. That does say proper sector 2, but it might not necessarily be. He does have a purple sector 1 though, so this could be very competitive for Jamie here, and I think this could be challenging pole or not. The last sector is just 4/10 of the last sector. Not great for Jamie there, but he can take solace in the fact that his first 2 sectors extremely competitive. See, I do believe King and Baza, their task is not set, which I don't want to point out for them, but it is. I just have seen it there. So now we need to see if anyone is setting a time. Chris isn't setting when he's back in the pits. I'll check in with Indecisive here. I don't think we're going to see an improvement, but or maybe we will. But let's see. Yeah, a little under, just under 3/10 down. So now Jason will start another lap here. We'll get Rageman who is on a lap and up in a time that is, well, it's not really competitive with the point really for pole, but it should still be a decent time to slot in there. As now it comes up to the line and it's P6, just about in the 108s. So not bad for Rageman, has a lap on the board now. We can then focus on finding more time to just get himself back up there. I think, well, it looks like his second sector isn't that competitive. But honestly, you would imagine there's probably been a mistake, especially if he's competitive in the other sectors. So now she's going to get the exit here. He's now electing to not only enable the ERS now. See here, you need the power in the straight, because see, this ERS does not count on your lap, because it's purely just to get you up to speed. As you enter turn 1 here through this NS, you make sure you get it right, as that can ruin your whole lap if you do invalidate. Then the Redetto Oposta, so heading down to turn 4, not missing your braking or going a bit on like Verstappen and Hamilton did, but keeping it on track. And now through turn 6, we have seen a wipeout here back in 2009, involving Fernando Alonso. Now to this tiny twisty section where he nearly flips it. These corners are similar, as you just see this right-hander here where Alex Albon's, but it's very similar to the one just after the high-speed right-hander. So now down through the downhill left and now up the hill to John Sao. Now up onto this, well, the 7 straight through the kink of 14 and this slight kink of 15. So now like not quite to keep to the left, but so 109.1 for Jess, so it is a decent lap time. Consistency has been her strength this season with 2 top 5 finishes, as I do believe nobody else has achieved that. Mason did get a P6, but obviously that's just slightly outside top 5. So that consistency is going to be key for her driving this season, and how it'll stack up in the championship. The only thing is, if the likes of Mega Gamer can basically just pretty much have the last week as a loss of no score, just a once off, then it will become difficult, because if Mega Gamer can produce his pace week in, week out, then you would expect him to be very much in check with the title. So if mostly you do have tasks here, so make sure to try to use that if you want to see information on the drivers. So most people in the pit lane for today. Now we've Chris here is probably going to look, as he's now got a representative enough lap time set. So I think it'd be happy enough with that for now, just to get something in. But it would look for a bit of improvement, as even maybe a 2/10 improvement, only gain a position. It would take another nearly half a second in order to find that real improvement that could see is shoot up the order. I will say the weather here, we have light rain after 16 minutes in the race, so do keep that in mind, because if we get a race that has multiple safety cars, then who knows, you could see anything happen with the weather day on. A late switch to inters could see you fall up the order, particularly if that safety car is late. We're talking probably about a lap 30 to lap 32 kind of safety car. So now Mason, a championship leader, he's on to set a lap here through the SNS. You just see nice and tidy through there, not to worry about invalidation. He's not tucking in too much or going too wide. So now down at the boss down 4, just make sure you hit the apex, get it right. To 5, up and now to 6. Got a bit of a hand, yeah. Yeah, you do apologise if I have butchered that pronunciation, but I will try my best. So 8 to 9, Binomino and a big at the battle. Yeah, make sure you stuck in, get the exit. Now hang the car here, make sure the tyres don't. They're going to be squealing a bit. Trumagulu, now it's Trumagulu and now Chumsao. And the speed of the boxes, I think the 14 and then 15, which doesn't have a name. So now passing by the grandstand. Where will this McLaren end up? Well, let's see, we'll find out here. It's good enough to go 3,000 ahead of Jamie, so position gained, but the question is, will that stay that way? So Jason now going to try and set a lap here. He is half a tenth up in the first sector, so good job so far. It is purple, so very good for Jason. That could oh, it's not going to count. He's took too much liberty with there. The only good thing I suppose is at least he can now charge up his ERS, but that's going to require him to really be stamping on the brakes, not putting temperature in the tyre, and you kind of need to fire up the tyre, you know, a lot here. Oh, it's getting a little too much. It's starting to get a little cold now. But now you see Infamous, he's going to start a lap here. So now you see into the first turn, Senes. You can see a late braking move can get position for you there in the race. So in qualifying, it's just dry late braking is at the Mercedes of Indecisive, who I'm not sure as to how they ended up there, but we will move on. Infamous now sets a proper sector, but Jason's sector was slightly quicker. However, Infamous hasn't invalidated here, so it's actually going to count for him. Oh, but Jason's set even quicker! Even quicker now, 16.898. It's heating up between these Red Bulls. Mega Gamer hasn't found that kind of pace. The right thing is, he's now going even quicker. His second sector is flying there, and he's managed at 108.1. Infamous has got to hope his straight line speed is that you have a gigamate goes up to P2, but I'm expecting Infamous to beat him. 108.4 for Infamous, so that is good. But Jason spun, just couldn't get the lap together. It could have been a really good qualifying situation for Jason there if he had just got it hooked up, but hasn't quite got together for him. Jamie, meanwhile, he has been setting decent sectors here. Decent or not. Is it 2 tenths down? Jess, who has managed to improve, goes ahead of Rageman. And Rageman here now is in Band-Aid, so that is it. Smithy Chris. I don't. It's just he's not able to piece together the lap like he before. It is exact same time as Fozzie Bear. He does go ahead, but that is it for qualifying. As Mega Gamer is showing mega pace once again. Lined up on the front row in Miami. He's gone one better here. So for Mega Gamer, mega result, and now he's just got to convert it. He was able to convert a P2 to a P1 last time out, despite him losing a lot of places at the start. So, here is your qualifying results. Mega Gamer 108.1. It takes a dominant pole position, so followed by Infamous, who adds to his pole last time out in Spielberg with a nice P2, but he will be hoping to maybe improve, actually get to the end of the race this time and convert his good time position. You haven't the good mate. Lines up in P3 once again. He's at the forefront, but he'll need to make it stick unlike last time out. Jason takes a P4, so not too bad for Jason, who knows how to recover from a bad result. Mason attempts to beat in P5. Jamie, who followed Mason home in a McLaren 1-2 last time, P6. Jess P7, Rachel P8, King P9. So Chris completes the top 10. Then you outside top 10, 11 Fozzie Bear, followed by Baza, Indecisive, Denrod, Kia and Tebow. So now we are heading into the race. This is where the points are made, and obviously on the system top 12 get points, range from 20 for P1 to a singular point for P12. You get fastest lap point for the fastest lap inside the top 10, or fastest lap, and then also fastest lap for from outside the top 10. So no matter where you are, you able to compete for something anyways, and you never know, that point could mean a lot come the end of the season. Yep, we are going straight away. So, get ready. It is lights out and we go racing. In Interlagos, Brazil. Has Infamous got the inside line. He's on the soft as well, so can he do what Wallace did last year in the sprint and get the jump with the with the softer tyre. He has. Oh, that's Mega Gamer. He's out immediately. And Jason once again caught up. And that's immediately brought out the VSC. So that isn't into the racing, but Infamous must be cheering now. He got in front. And then he's seen the man on pole immediately out of Grand Prix. As we have a little bit of a mess there. Presumably with racing's going on, they are trying to just basically fix up the order. Oh, that's Mercedes indecisive, spun under VSC. Oh, hard tyres clearly not up to temperature. That's a front wing gone and probably medium tyres needed. As a two-stop strategy here, so interesting they went for the hard. Everyone else went for either soft or medium. Top two soft is Jamie from 6th has managed to jump up to 2nd. So Jamie once again managing to find himself up the order. Even when his race did look, even when it didn't really look like he could find himself up that far up the order. See, he'll know the feeling of 2nd after last week, but he will think, I missed an opportunity. If I can go for this win, I will. And again, consistency is key, as Jess has proved. You've got all people in, and that does include Jess and Mason. However, this could just be a safety car stop, because now it's an effective one stop for those here. It is, plus, I suggest, you can warm up your tyres a bit. Just put a bit of heat into them. Just drive around, and eventually it's going to build up a bit of heat. So now we are still under the well, we are behind a safety car. So safety car did come out in the end. So now with a safety car stop, this makes things very interesting now. We must stay under this, you must stay a bit slower as Chris has went a little off-roading, and that's resulted in a few position lost to the Alpine and Rossi there, and Denrod last week got 20 seconds of penalties, not great for him, but this week is looking a little better. He's up to 7th, but with those behind having made their stops, you could see a case where those at the front will have to build a gap in order to make a stop, and then obviously only then you're even. So effectively it will be a two-stop in name. Well, actually, just seeing Kia, I believe, has managed to go for 2 stops already. We've seen this trick work last season. Jamie was able to do that under safety car, and by doing so he managed to jump himself up to the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, which opened season 20 last season, and he was able to win the race because the time he gained from simply not having to do a pit stop was more than enough to mitigate any impact that slower tyres compared to the others would have made. It's now Infamous, and Ace has been able to keep it in the right direction in the safety car this time, and with all 4 wheels. Well, now he's going to get us underway. You want to leave it late here in Interlagos, because otherwise you will be slipstreamed. He's keeping a decent pace here. He's holding it. He's holding, and he's gone. He's managed to get right. As the Ferrari is going to go down the inside of Jamie. But Jamie and them soft tires are just well able to hold on. However, Jamie will fall It's falling already a second out of that of Infamous, so the real risky will be at the front, heading up a DRS train, and not the first guy behind the guy heading up the DRS train. However, he's now managed to slip back in. DRS won't be enabled for 2 laps now after the safety car. So he will have an opportunity to maybe close up a bit. He might have to burn ERS, but Infamous, he's got more than enough, so he could burn a bit now, make that gap. But now the Ferraris are starting to drop back instead. As a mediums, they're going to not have the initial grip. But in a couple of laps, you may see the Ferraris start to climb back up. So now as you head down the straight to complete the first lap full lap of racing, Infamous fastest lap of course, because well, first one across the line. So now you see King and Rageman going side by side here. Rageman looking for a place here, but King is able to keep that ahead. Keep the car ahead and overlook. King's going a bit wide. Is this Rageman's chance? It's just not quite enough of an opportunity there. You see Jason Tebow. You see Jason now has a chance to once again pull something from out of the fire. And as a one-stop med, he can go long into this race and make it an effective one-stop. So now, as we started, it's the Mercedes round again. It's indecisive once again. It's not good for him. It's now smooth Chris and Denrod. And yet Chris is past Denrod. So it's fine. Now bit of pace is it's got Jason. Jason's now ahead here. This is a whole bunch of chaos here. Denrod, Chris, Jason. This guy is lagging a little bit. Nice. So I do apologise, but it does seem like people are jumping around. It's Jamie! Jamie! He's around! And that's just the car couldn't take the speed he was trying to go through there. The tyre temperature probably on the outside probably skyrocketed, and now he's down to 12 without a stop made, and you can see the tyres need to cool down. You might want to take an early stop here. It's on us, Fozzie Bear. He's just going off the road. He's just slowing down here. Oh, he's got a 10-second penalty as well for track limits. I assume that will be removed because he has not done a thing wrong. Jamie's round again. Much like last week in Austria, he's around a lot early on this race. And who knows? I don't know if he'll be able to be as fortunate as he was last time. So at the moment, the tyre wear, for soft runners is double that of the medium runners. As ever, Infamous, once again, he's pulling away a huge gap. It is massive. Around 4 seconds, although I would expect the Ferrari to start to reel that in now, particularly as the mediums find their sweet spot and the softs start to burn out a bit. King already picking up a penalty for track limits, so that does not bode well for the race, especially if you used to go around this track another 28 times. Or even 29 if you include this 8th lap. So you see 4.2, it's getting very good for Infamous here. see Infamous at this point. This is exactly what he has to do. Oh, there's Chris round. Chris is around. A lot of early spinners here. As I think this one of them tracks where you need the laps in order to find your comfort zone. In this case, Chris, who's been struggling in qualifying and the race, he's around again. It's not looking good for him. We are still on without rain, so depending on what happens, we could no, see, there is still a chance you could get back into it if there is no safety cars. So now, is he 4.6? Infamous continue to pull out the gap. That will do well for his season. As at the moment, Infamous is about he is, if we get it up here, he is 13th in this championship, so he needs this result. As now you see King and Rageman's now round. Rageman around there, snow corner, he needs traction, and now he's just falling off the back of King. He was looking very nice for Rageman, but now he's going to be under pressure from Thibaut and Mason. Mason in particular has done a brilliant job of here, so he is very much in the conversation for this race win, based in fact purely that he doesn't have to make as many stops as the others now. Infamous is he's still lap 10. I am wondering if he's going to make a stop soon. You would expect it 10 laps on a soft, then maybe. Oh, that's Chris round, not great for him. Rageman being passed now by Thibaut towards turn 4, very much making the moves. Infamous continuing to pull away. This is the Infamous we know from last season. I would have to say it is looking very nice for him. Infamous was second in last season's championship. What big proverb ended up winning it. So Infamous, if he can get this win, he'll be on track to maybe try and start rectifying that. I think Rageman was also a contender. He's in a 7th, and he's now deciding to take the plunge. He's pitting anyways. He's going to do what I would expect for a 2-stop. As you can see then, like Mason and Jess, they're able to just gain up places purely because, well, you've made your stop already. You can then go on and then run what is now an effective 1-stop, but you are also completing the 2-stop because you made that first stop on the safety car when everyone was going at a slow pace. So you're able to catch back up to the field and effectively gain a stop on everyone else. Chris into the pit lane, so he's ditching the mediums early. Here's Chris. He's going for the hard tyre, so I'm presuming then long stint before a sprint stint on the soft tyre. Is now Infamous into the pit lane. Number 2 car, he belonged to number 2 last season. He belonged to become number 1 in this race, and maybe by the end of the season number 1 in the championship. If Mason is now past Thibaut, and Thibaut, I do believe, has made a stop as well. So now let's see. Infamous, he's going to crop out ahead of Jess. This has worked out very well for Infamous here. As though that's Mercedes a round of indecisive, I think. So it's not really going well for indecisive here today. It's just the car isn't with him. As you see Kia, who's already made 2 stops, but I'm presuming he'll make another stop because mediums surely won't get to the end from here, although they do seem to have nice tyre wear. So now you see around 30% wear so far for the medium runners. To get to the end and you'd be really approaching puncture territory. So see, most people have to make 2 stops. So they are probably doing a long medium stint followed by shorter soft tyre stints. So now you see Infamous is he knows the job of making up time to get, well, first of all, maybe he's now effectively in the race with Mason and Tebow. Jason, on the other hand, has already made a stop, and he's 9 seconds ahead of Mason. So good job there from Jason. He's managed to make this race. There you go. Denrod actually has damage here. So let me see. It's not visible, but it is there, I can tell you. He's also got side pod damage. So not very good there for Denrod. 16% side pod. That's going to make some of these corners very, very difficult. Actually, all of them. Especially without, well, it's actually floor damage, I would say, not a wing. Jason has very slight damage actually on his wings. Oh, is that Rage Man? As I do believe a fastest lap has just been set. By Infamous, so well, the pace is clearly there. Infamous past Tebow. You say he'd be very, very happy with that. Now he's got a big target, and that is quite clearly he's got Mason in his sights. He needs to kickstart this season, and by doing this he'll very much kickstart. Jason here has he's in the best position to win the race, because he's so close to the leader, leader of Ferrari, and now he's going to take P2 on track, passing King. He's done it, and let's see, King's a pit stop behind effectively because he has to make 2 separate stops, whereas Jason could go longer. So King probably will pit midway through this race, do 2 separate stints on the soft tyre. While Jason is instead going to go a little bit longer, but then he only has to go into 1 set. See, he will have a little more wear, but it is going to be very advantageous, because no matter what, really, he's not really going to be caught. So, we have a yellow flag. I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of it is for. Well, yeah. And just for your information, Mason and Tebow are carrying damage. So, you can see there is a little bit of a pace loss there. And probably why Jason has managed to just rocket away from them, even though he's on the same strategy. So we are reaching the Interlagos here. It is going to be very much about the strategy as to who pits when and for what tyre they pit on. So I will see there is position changes. Tebow's up 10, so we have to say fair play to him. He's definitely been a driver of the day contender. Infamous though has been the supreme driver in terms of pace, so while I am here on my own, I will probably nominate 2 drivers here just because trying to keep normality. now. So we have Gigamate is in the pits. So 16 out of 36. That does mean now it'll be 10 laps on each soft tire if he does. It is the hard tire. Hard tires. Ooh. Very, very interesting here. I thought he would have went a little longer and then went for 2 sprint stints, but clearly believes the softs wouldn't last that long, especially in Stim 1. So, going for hard tires. But obviously, that's only 1 stop out of 2. Now, let's see, it's interesting what it's out behind Tebow. You see, 7 seconds now, so now we have pretty much everyone on. Oh, that's Rageman off again. Again, it's this time at turn 1. Let me see, Rageman. There's no damage, so he can get back up to speed here, but it won't really help his race, to be honest. So now Jason leads a Red Bull 1-2. It's not a McLaren 1-2 this time, it is Red Bull. So the real interesting thing is here, what will Infamous do is he's now got to make up 8.6 seconds to his teammate. Obviously, Jason's been on the medium tires for a long time. Infamous, he's got a lot more grip in his tire, because he's not even approached 20% tire wear, while Jason is almost at, well, he's just over 50. So it's not really that Tebow is now in. He's going to take the hard tire, which means now he's going to the end anyways, and be interesting to see what he can do. The hard tire can be a very nice tire when warmed up, but it does depend on the track. Denrod actually hasn't made a stop here, so he's very much in a bad place, because he's got to probably drop out with a point here. Plus he's got damage to his floor and side pod. Mason is in the pits. Are we going to see his front wing repaired here or not? No, no front wing repair, but it is a pit stop, and he is now onto hard tires. So he's going to the end. He is basically doing one stop in all but name, really. Oh, yellow flag. That is not Rageman, it's Fozzie Bear. Fozzie Bear has slight damage to the side pod and damage to the floor, so it has to be great, and you can see why to be a spin. Infamous has gained a second here, so he is doing his job to reel in his teammate, but will he be able to reel him in enough in the end? Because Jason will pit, he will pit and probably go for hards or softs. And I see the hards, they could really work with this, I think, because sometimes trying to fire them up at the start is difficult, but also so then when he can just actively go on and he doesn't have to do a start and incur a wheel spin, it can really work for you. Oh, that's T-Bone Denrod. T-Bone Denrod. The safety car. Or is it a VSC? No, it is a safety car. It is safety car. It is. And that means we're going to see pit stops for the top 2. And everyone else here, except for Jess. Oh well, no, Jess has to pick at her stop actually, mind you. She is on the one just like everyone else. It's Mason who's already made that second stop. He might be kicking himself here. Because, you know, he'll be thinking, I could have stayed out a few more laps here. But now you see, oh, in his infamous, is he going to be victim of double stack? It's not bad here. So Jason, he's now been saved because he doesn't have to lose a bunch of time. Yuan Ligame is staying out. And he's going to catch the safety car here, so... not great. He is risking losing a lot of places here. Look at the Aston Martin's Chris, if lapped. So, not great for him in that case. So, Jess is also staying out. It's very interesting here because these two, they have to make another stop. But they haven't took the opportunity to stop under the safety car. Jason has went with the softs, so he needs to get the jump here, and if he can, it may well work out. Now, under the safety car, it's now managed to bring some people back into the fold, but you've got the top 6 who are all close and they're going to catch up quick, but then you have the rest who are 47 seconds off, and the only one thing for them is at least they'll be able to get temperature into tyres. Chris in the pits again, and clearly I think he's accepted as fate. In this case, only way he gets back through is if he is effectively let through by the rest of, well, by the person on lead lap. We are home to Interlagos. We had a few of them in 2019 where we saw Verstappen and Hamilton have battles where Verstappen was able to get the jump on each opportunity. Well, pretty much, mind you, the first opportunity was on the green flag where he got the move done despite being undercut, and then when Hamilton did stay out, Verstappen was able to really get him at the restart into turn 1. So I think this will be Jason's target. Red Bull and soft versus a car that decided to stick it out. Although they do have to come in again. I think Jess will also have to come in again, so they are running the risk of compromising their races. But they also are maybe thinking, if we get a safety car at maybe lap 30, or if that rain does come, we are in the perfect position then to make our second stop by going to an intermediate tyre. So now, well, everyone is here except for well, everyone is here because Chris is the only one who isn't on the lead lap here. We are probably going to get going here. You see safety car lights flashing. Usually the end of sector 2 we go, so just having Mergulio. Yep, so as you exit Mergulio, you get the notice. Now, you have a big job to do. You got Jason on soft behind you, but you do have Jess here who want very quick and on rise. She is on old hards, and if she can hold up the likes of Infamous, it could be very good for you. So now, let's see if Ferrari has went. Jason has managed to keep with it, but will he try and move turn 1? He's done immediately. It's down the inside of Red Bulls. Is he got it done? Well, Ferrari has managed to defend itself, and by doing so, it's keeping the lead. Now you see, Jason, he's through anyways. He's managed to get through the exit onto Aposta. Now Infamous down towards turn 4. Abandoning King on the soft tyre, but King should be able to have the grip here. He's around the outside of 5. There's a brilliant move there from King. Despite the penalty, he is keeping that place on the track at the moment. And you see McLaren's close again. Obviously, there's 2 places down at the qualifying position, but for the likes of Jamie, this is a window right back into this race. And if Jamie knows anything, it's that he can gain a lot here by managing just to keep himself there and being there when it matters. So now Jason, 1.2 second lead already. He's made his stops. He doesn't have to worry now. He's effectively got a 10 lap stint to do in these softs, which is what I was nearly thinking they would do. So now Jess, she is down to 6 from third. Oh, it's not great. Fozzie Bear is locked. Kia also indecisive now in the top 10, despite having to make 3 stops. The Ferrari now, under pressure. He's been up there this season, but now he looks like he'll be very much compromising. You have to hope that he'll have to hope for himself. Oh, and he's got a penalty too. Oh dear, this could really ruin his race. You see, Jez also in trouble. They've been on them hard since the start. You could consider a pit stop here, maybe for medium tyres, or go a little longer and just get yourself the soft tyres and have a go at it, because you're not really going to gain much otherwise. You are going to get points anyway, so you aren't losing all. Now you see Jamie is past Jess. Mason's down to 9th. Not good for Mason here. That damage is probably starting to really tell now. So now you see Mason wasn't in a bad place earlier, but now he's just in the trouble. The hard tyres probably aren't helping here. Basil now will be the next to go through. Jamie is probably on the best tyre here, the medium, because that's going to last to the end. It also gave you initial grip, so he's not going to worry. And I think he'll be able to pass a few of these cars here. Rageman, for example, his softs will die off. King will die off plus he's a penalty. Infamous on the hard tyre, he doesn't have that much grip, and the Ferrari here has to make another stop, so it's looking good for Jamie to once again pull a result from nowhere. Chris is off there, it's just it's not been a great race for him. Jason, 3.5 second lead, 3.6 now. Rageman's not picked up a penalty, so even easier for Jamie here. He's now got DRS, so just needs to close up and use the grip of the mediums that will last that much longer than the softs. You see now, and really Infamous, he's got to get this move done. He has around up to just before the 6. He's got it done. That is a very good move for him. King now on the inside of 8 and to 9. So now into 10 here. Is Rageman going to have a go himself? No. That is Aston around the Chris off again. Not good. It's been lapped with pretty much everyone now. So now next up for to try to get off to the Ferrari train here is Rageman. And he's in. I'm up. The train is pulled in. Is pulled in for his stop. Sorry, you having a giggle, mate? He's in. He will make his stop. Another penalty for King, so that won't help him. Chris around again. So Chris has not had to set up. Maybe he's on default. I can't really tell you what has happened to it. This caused all that, but it is just a. I suppose it is unfortunate for him. So now you see Jason 3.5, 3.4. Actually, this is now turned into a very nice battle now for the win, because Infamous has to use these tyres now. He's got tyres that will have really more grip at the end than they would have had at their 6-car restart. But because the soft tyres, they really get better as you go on. So now he's got to make use of this tyre, especially as the thing goes on. He knows with time he's going to start gaining, because Jason won't have grip forever, especially with the softs, which give you a lot of grip fairly quickly, but dies out fairly quickly. So now King is now on the back of Rageman, and here the task is now Jamie. He's just hanging in that DRS, but is he going to get the opportunity for himself to basically just get past these two? See, he will have them on penalties, so it looks like another podium for Jamie here if he can just hold on onto this P5 and not make an error or get caught up in anything. So now Jess here, obviously, yeah, it's not looking good for her, to be honest. She will get points, but at the moment, if you're going to piss, you might want to do it now and make use of these, because even now these hard tyres, I see, they're approaching 60% tyre wear. This Jess here, he's just gambling on something happening. Is King and Jamie, I believe King's made a mistake somewhere up there, and Jamie has flown by. So now Jamie, Rage plan is need to keep the position here. Jamie will be on him very soon. Will be very much unscripted to get past. So, oh, that's Baza. I'll be a pit stop anyways. He'll need to get himself out of there. Yeah, that's fine. You can on chips. Alright. See, Infamous, he's almost here. I'm sorry if the quiet, there's one of the things of the sort. He is probably going to be passed very soon, so I think Infamous, he will claim the win that he did very much deserve based on his pace. As always, Rageman off, it's important for him, but Jess did pit onto softs. He can make us up to 7th, so not too bad for him. He can try pass some others if he can. Right there, he could do anything there, and he'd probably pass very soon. See Infamous, sure he'll be past now, he'll go for the outside. He's got it done, maybe not. Jason will have a good decent fight, he's got kept it for now. Infamous surely this time, as we are getting near, we can see it's just getting a bit cloudy. We might see a rain coming very soon. Lap 5:36. Oh, that's Rageman out, but too late for a safety car. Rageman is going to drop out with a point here. He will lose. So Chris will get a final point here if he can just pass Jamie. Well, Rageman there. So Infamous round the outside. This time he may have it done. Into the king. Oh, and King's been hit. Jamie has managed to get up to the podium. I think he'll be very happy with that. Mason of P4, that'll be good for his championship. We're on to the final lap. I will have to end the stream ASAP, so I will effectively just give you final results and then nominate 2 drivers of the day. But I would say my driver of the day now, Infamous. So, did you think you would have been able to win even with the restart, seeing Jason had the, or even with Jason building that massive lead? And then also I would have to say to Jamie, did you think he could recover? So Jason just been spun round. Let's see Jason continuing to go around. This is not going well. He's now down to 5th. An unfortunate end to what should have been a very good result for him. It should have been a second podium for the season. As Infamous wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, Jamie takes P2. He will recover a P3 from this. Although I do think Mason will jump inside the penalty window. It is close. He may cross the line. 21.6. Mason gets the podium, so McLaren not 1-2, but it is 2-3. Let's see Jess. Nice P5 there. Third consecutive top 5 finish. So this is P6. King P7. Jason 8th. Now 7th. King didn't quite. His gamble didn't work. Maybe another way safety car might have. Results: Infamous P1, Jamie P2, Mason P3, P4, Jess P5, Insights P6, Jason P7, King P8, Baza P9, Key 10, Ozzy Bear 11th, 12, DNF, so Rageman, T-Bo, Denrod, Mega Gamer. The drivers of the day. As Infamous, my question is, how did you think you'd win even at the point where Jason was 8 seconds ahead with same stops? Then also Jamie, let's say my other driver today for his recovery. Did you think that that result was anywhere near possible after your spins in the opening couple of laps? So that is it. I will have to end it right there now. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out sponsors and partners. Thank you and goodbye.